My dear brothers and sisters here at Holy Cross, we're now moving on to chapter 11 of Paul's second letter to the Corinthians. And in chapter 11, verse 30, Paul says, "If I must boast, I will boast of the things that show my weakness." Now, in our video yesterday, the video from the 10th chapter of 2 Corinthians, Paul was talking about boasting again and boasting in the Lord. This time, he subtly changes what it is that he's talking about when he's talking about boasting. This time he says, "If I must boast, I will boast of things that show my weakness." Part of what Paul is saying here is, when you saw me when I first came to the Corinthian community, you saw somebody who looked weak and who looked beaten down, and you thought, well, this disciple Paul, he can't be that important because look at him. He's weak and he's stumbling around and he doesn't look that impressive. He doesn't look like a great Roman or Greek or even Jewish rhetorician. Paul says, you can't be judging by human standards. In fact, what Paul says is, I judge out of my own weakness. I boast out of my own weakness. You saw a beaten down man? Well, that's good. I am weak. You saw somebody who knows his own limitations, the own problems with his own will? Well, that's good. Those are my weaknesses, and I boast out of them. Part of what Paul is saying to the Corinthians and to himself and to all of us is, don't look to this idea of a Messiah who will come with a big sword and smite everybody down who he disagrees with. No, look to the broken and weak Jesus on the cross. Look to the Jesus that shows us what it means for redemption to happen through a broken body, through someone who is willing to be tortured and killed on the cross. Look to that weak Jesus, and in that weakness, we ourselves find our very glory and strength. The glory of the Jesus who was crucified on the cross, the glory of the Christ that was resurrected from the tomb. Paul is saying to the Corinthians, don't boast about who's better, who's richer, who's stronger, who's more important in the eyes of the world. Boast about how you mirror the crucified Jesus, the crucified one, broken, reviled, spit upon, and killed, all on the cross, in his weakness and in our weakness. Amen, and God bless.